Good morning, you handsome lot, or afternoon, wherever you shall be. I've got on the ramp today a little 2004 Ford Fusion, and it has got a little bit of a charging fault. It's the second vehicle I've had in this week with a charging fault. Now, I have diagnosed it to be a faulty alternator. It is only charging at 11.3 volts, I think. But however, we're going to get involved now. We're going to get this alternator off. But I have had an alternator delivered for this vehicle, which is a new one, and I'm just going to show you the condition of it. Now, this alternator, don't get me wrong, it is remanufactured, but however, things like this, you should have some sort of quality control. We all look a little like this alternator. It definitely 100% has not been fitted. I can assure you that it has not been fitted. If you have a look inside them pins, I don't know if the camera's going to zoom in and focus, I don't know. But look at the state of them pins. Now, this is remanufactured. Is it zooming in? That pin at the top is completely crusty. Just imagine you fit that alternator without checking stuff like that. The amount of problems that you're going to get in a week's time. Your car's going to come back in. You're going to be checking all the wiring. It's going to do your head, and you're going to think, right, that's had a new alternator. The alternator is not faulty. This is why you should always check your components before you fit them. But don't worry, I have got another new alternator, which is coming from a different company. But I think the first thing that we need to do is disconnect this battery, negative first. Now, once I've disconnected that battery, I think the best thing that we're going to be doing is, because the alternator hasn't been charging, and that looks a relatively newish battery, we're going to pop it on charge. And the charger that I'm using is a Ring battery charger and supply unit, and that is the part number for it. See it? It is a standard battery, there's nothing fancy about it. Let's just pop it on charge. Now, on all these older Fords, they made things a lot more easier, fuck, I can't get my words out. Now, the alternators on these, they are in an easy place to access, but they are a little bit fiddly to get out. Now, the best thing that you're going to do, remove the headlamp, 3 T30s and a little electrical connector down the back here, and that headlight. With a little bit of wiggling and pokering about, that will just come out. Remember, whenever you're removing components on these older cars, please, please, please be extra careful, because there's a lot of plastic little clips that will break, and especially when it's a little bit colder, things get a little bit more brittle. But there we go, that headlight is now out. Flip the camera around. We've got now a lot of access to that alternator. Now, the power steering bottle was clipped in on this little bracket here, and I've just pulled that out of the way because we don't want to be disturbing anything. And again, be careful with the pipes because they are plastic and they will snap. Right, let's get that belt off. Now, it is a stretch belt, and I have ordered a brand new one for it, and I think what we're going to do is cut that belt off. Right, well, I've decided not to cut that belt off. Simple reason being, no, my luck and the luck I've had this week, the belt that I get with the new alternator is going to be wrong, and I might have to use this again. But yeah, I've had an absolutely horrendous week. With that belt removed, we can now move around to getting the alternator off itself. There's one bolt underneath, a long bolt through there, and then that nut, and then you take a bolt out with a little lead Torx. Right, let's get it off. And with all them bolts removed, we can get that alternator now through this area which we removed the headlight for. And that is one alternator successfully removed. Right, well, with that, I'm waiting for me bets now. I do get quite a few comments on a lot of my posts saying, why do people spend all this money on these older cars? It's simple. These are the better kind of cars, in my opinion. Something else that I want to bring up, I do get asked about quite a lot, is what under bonnet light that I'm using. Obviously, let me flip this camera around for you. It is proper Ring. Let me show you. It's one of these, a under hood bonnet lamp, which is telescopic, as you can see. And these are brilliant lights, to be honest. They are really bright. but however, they do go flat. Now, all the jobs that I normally do are for a long period of time. So what I did was buy a 240 volt LED strip light. I think it's 5 foot, and I cable tied it to the under hood light, and it's plugged in to the wall. It's never going to go flat, and it's on all day long. And it is, as you can all see, and you've all seen by now, it is extremely bright. Finally, the brand new one has turned up, although it is remanufactured. But let's have a little look around the inside there. And them pins are a lot better. Should we go ahead and get this alternator fitted? And there we have it. With a little bit of magic, that alternator is now back on that vehicle. Right, should we take it up in the air and put this, well, believe it or not, the alternator belt was the right one, and it is. Does it say on there somewhere? Elast, that's pretty much stretch. So yeah, this is a stretch belt. If I can get a video of me putting it on, I will, because these are a little bit of a pain. Well, I'm going to try and give it a go, see if I can get it on film for you. Now, I have got a tool that does these, but it is absolutely rubbish. So we're going to try and do it with finger and thumb power and see if we can get it on. Oh, I'm not holding my breath. But we've got to give it a go, haven't we? What's going on? Give it a whirl around. You know what? That went on a lot easier than I thought it was. And I've also got another one to go on the back there. Another stretch belt. Can we get that one on at the same time? I'm not going to have two that go on easy, surely to God. Hang on, let me get an 18mm deep socket. Right, now I've got my 18mm spanner on. See if we can get this one on as easy as what the other one went on. Oh, go on. Go on, don't come off the back. That's not what we want. Let's have a look, let's have a look. What's going on? Look at that. Both them belts now have gone on a lot easier than I bloody thought. And there we have it. With a little bit of magic, that car is now all back together. Now, what we've done, connected the battery back up, left the leads on, because this battery charger supply unit has got an alternator test. If you just flip it round to alternator now, click OK, testing. We go around to the car, start it up. You can see that we've got 14.4 volts. That alternator now is working perfect. And there we have it, that vehicle is now ticking over and the belt is running nice and true. Now also this battery charger, it does double up as lots of things, and we are testing the alternator now, which has got 14.4 volts. Now I don't know whether you eagle-eyed viewers found, you know what, right, I think I'm at the point now where this week I've had nothing, and I mean nothing, but problems with aftermarket parts. This job was going so well, and I mean so well. I'm not even happy, lad. As you can see, that battery there is charging at 14.3 volts, 14.4 volts, which is perfectly happy, right? Come around to the car, we've got a battery light on. Now bearing in mind, when I did this diagnostic to start with, I had 0 fault codes whatsoever. Now I've already done a few little tests again, just to, I'm fed up of having parts that I'm being doubted on. Now if we go back again, we've got fault codes here regarding the alternator. It's not even right for the vehicle. are not compatible. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I've had a week of this, a week of it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, with that disconnected, just to double check again, you know, I'm like backtracking all the time on these parts. I just got to double check these things. Now, come to the alternator, the 2 wires that go to the ECU. I'm going to do a little bit of a continuity test. Now I have got that one back probed into the blue pin. Should we get my other lead? We come round here and it is in down deep in there. Now if I get me probe and stick that in, just into the back of the pin. If it beeps, it's good. Perfect. Now let's swap that over to the grey wire. Let's come in here now and find wherever the grey one shall be, which is just up here somewhere. Plug that in. It's working, so we can confirm that we haven't got a broken wire. So now I've got to get on the phone again and wait another day for well, it's Saturday now and this customer wanted this car back today. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to have it back. What on earth is going on with these aftermarket parts? What on earth is going on with them, like? So disheartening. So disheartening. And this is what is happening, not just to me, across the whole country, to everybody, because every garage that I speak to, oh yeah, we're having problems. Like, what do we do as mechanics? Do we start saying to people, right, you're going to have a genuine part, because it's going to fix it? Because I can't afford to be putting 2 hours into these cars, put the parts on, have them not work correctly, and then have to double check everything that I've already checked because I'm like doubting myself. Frustrating. So yeah, not all vehicles are clean sailing. I mean, what can we do? Like, what can we do? Now this video, well, it's done my head in the sides, to be honest. I can't, what I mean, so disheartening. Well, there's not a great deal that I can do, to be honest with you now, because it is 12 o'clock, or it's 12:15 on a Saturday. I normally finish at 12 o'clock. I've got a little job to do after work on my dad's car, just basic oil and filter. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to end this week on a bit of a high. But it doesn't matter. What we are going to do is go home and enjoy a little bit of time with the family. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please click that like and subscribe. And I will see you on Monday and hope everything next week goes a lot better than this week. So anyway, yeah, let's get a 7.